Greetings, Mr. Oaks here with yet another video for you. What is the worst Two-Face story ever told? That's a question I've been asked countless times throughout the years, and in my opinion it's The Face Schism, a story from 1995 by Doug Mensch and Kelly Jones. And I'm gonna prove to you that it's the worst Two-Face story of all time by reading it for you. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Here we have the cover, Batman 527. I don't even really like this cover, even though I generally really like Kelly Jones's art. And so here we are, the very first page, and Batman is just going on about a new crime wave in Gotham, burglars breaking into houses and robbing people. Some pretty nice artwork here by Kelly Jones of Batman. I love the way he draws his cape, a really crazy way. And Batman, of course, stops this particular home invasion by beating the crap out of the criminals. This, by the way, has nothing to do with the main plot. And here the actual story begins. Here we have Two-Face breaking out of Arkham Asylum by pretending to be a guard. And this is one of the things I do not like about this comic. Two-Face is just so... I don't know how to describe it. He's kind of like Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever. He's just over the top and yelling and just doing these crazy facial expressions. Just look at how he's screaming here. Free! Ah, free at last! And Batman finds out about Harvey escaping. Harvey Dent has just escaped New Arkham. New Arkham, of course, as it was called back then, because it had been rebuilt after Bane busted it up during Nightfall. And here we have this awkward scene. Two-Face is trying to get into his old apartment, but obviously someone else has moved in by now, so here we have the new guy living there. And Two-Face is trying to use his old key to get in. Who's there? What do you want? Key won't fit. Lock's been changed. But it's our apartment. So... I don't even know this bizarre writing for him. I don't know if he's insane or an idiot. Go away, or I'll call the police. Blackheads, you lose. Now if you'll excuse us, Bam Bam just blows his face off with his gun. We used to live here, back when we served as district attorney of this wretched city. Who is he even talking to? Well, I assume himself. This dialogue is, look at the artwork here, he just looks so goofy. This is some of Kelly Jones's worst artwork. And now that an overlong recess has concluded, court is back in session. I mean, he just talks so corny. This lawyer jargon that he's just talking to himself out loud. And here what he's doing here is he's grabbing old documents of his old cases. That's why he broke into his old apartment, because apparently he had hidden documents of his cases inside his wall in his apartment. Okay, are you supposed to do that? Batman finds out about the break-in at Harvey Dent's old home, and of course he knows what's going on. And here we have a flashback to the Harvey Dent days. Wow, he looks really awkward here. Kelly Jones drawing Batman in like the year one style. That just looks so bad. He looks just fat. And it just feels so wrong seeing Kelly Jones draw Batman with short stubby ears. Batman's narration here, old enough to be former DA Harvey Dent's investigation files. The ones he couldn't act on. Suspects he knew were guilty in cases lacking sufficient evidence for prosecution. His ghost files. The same ones he brandished years ago at meetings arranged by Jim Gordon. And Harvey Dent is just kind of an asshole in this story. The incriminating evidence exists. It must. But I can't touch it. Not legally. And you want me to? Get that evidence. Just look at how evil he looks here. You can do things forbidden to the police in the DA's office. You're not bound by criminal coddling rules. You can... I'll help as I have in the past, Harvey. But aren't you a little obsessed with... Obsessed? These people are mocking justice with a face of innocence, which is nothing but a mask for guilt, bruh. Of course I'm obsessed. Now will you join me or not, bitch? No. I told you we couldn't trust him, Gordon. We don't even know who he is. His real face could be... Easy, Harvey. But he left in a rage. His Ghost files, nothing but conviction without proof. So yeah, they never even got along back when they were supposed allies, according to this story. And first we gotta go through the origin as always. Dent remained district attorney throughout this prosecution of a gangster named Boss Maroney, who ended Dent's career and destroyed half his face with a vial of acid hurled from the witness stand. Arsh! After that, Dent's latent split personality became as distinct and separated as the two sides of his face. It's not just Maroney, it's the Batman's fault too! He betrayed us! Just for no reason at all, he's just going completely bonkers and blaming Batman for nothing, exactly like in Batman Forever. In a case of classic transference, Dent judged me guilty of being two-faced. And the sentence is death! Death! Just look at crazy old Dent here. Death! The death penalty! What's even going on here? He's trying to drown Batman in a well, and while he's just standing there going berserk and ranting on about the death penalty and turns his back, Batman just calmly climbs up. Okay. Worse than anyone he ever prosecuted, his dark side impelled him to crime in general. Since justice failed him, he once said he might as well join the winning side. Yet Two-Face has never really fully escaped his Harvey Dent persona and has occasionally tried to prosecute the ones who got away, suspects from his ghost files, many of whom no doubt should pay for their crimes, but not his way. His law has become lawless, a warped process with himself appointed sole judge. Ding! His fetish coin serving as sole jury. Fetish coin, okay? It's Two-Face's pristine and scarred, deciding yes or no, life or death. Innocent or guilty. Scored. The verdict is duly noted. And his gun the sole executioner. Death it is. I don't know, the dialogue is just so cheesy. It's like something out of some super cheesy 80s action movie. But I mean, in theory, like I said, it's not bad. I like all of this. This is actually how Two-Face is supposed to be portrayed. But it's done so badly. And also this whole like judge, jury, and executioner thing, like Batman says there, it's just something Two-Face does every now and then. Most of the time, according to the story, he's just doing this, robbing the Second National Bank of Gotham. And it's implied also that these ghost files aren't really correct as well. And now we have all of that backstory and exposition done with. I mean, why did they need to explain Two-Face? In 1995, everybody knew who Two-Face was and how he worked in his backstory and everything. In 1995, was that really necessary? So here the story really begins. Now we know what Two-Face is really gonna do. Jameson Lockhart, by virtue of your recent return to Gotham, not to mention the nature of your newest star attraction, you make the perfect candidate for our first prosecution. But we face two choices here, death for Lockhart himself, or release for his exploited captive. Flip, cling, unscarred, and release it is for a fellow phasing schism. And that's what he's talking about, this sideshow attraction, this conjoined twin. He's a big character in this story. Another interesting idea, but the story just does it so badly. There's just so many missed opportunities here. I think that's why I dislike this story so much, because it had so many great ideas, and it just did it so, I mean, you should have given another writer this story, really. Just given another writer this premise. It would have done a lot better job. And here we have the guy Harvey's going after, his ghost file, this owner of a circus. Coin or not, Lockhart, you will pay for past murder and ongoing exploitation. Here we get to know what this guy actually did. Dermiston Lockhart, suspected of a murder with the help of the strong man and the knife thrower, no less, to inherit his uncle's circus. Here we have Two-Face confronting this co-joined twin. You hear something, Maul, and they talk really goofy. To my ear, Cal, sounding like old Ben. You're free. Is it you talking to us? But the price of your freedom is justice. The man holding you prisoner, Jermiston Lockhart, is guilty of a murder in the past and sordid exploitation now. The penalty is death. But now that he has twice escaped my prosecution, his fate is in your hands. You're freeing us so we can murderize Mr. Lockhart? Take it or leave it. I actually like this image of him. That looks cool, and I like Two-Face in a fedora. Your decision, Schism. Harvey here did done save us, Mal, but what, Cal? You getting our feet cold 'cause it sounded like you done hurt old Ben? Well, maybe so, wimp. And one of them is more evil than the other. We gotta go with that old cliche, of course. Batman is there, of course, snooping around as well. He's been tailing Two-Face, and he gets into fight with the strong man and the knife thrower, yippity-yappity-you. I mean, this is not that bad. And here we have where the story gets really bad. There we have Lockhart confronting Batman, put at gunpoint. But then Two-Face shows up, putting him at gunpoint. You freeze, Lockhart, or your star sideshow attraction gets it right through both his brains. So he's just an asshole. He doesn't really want to free this guy. Now he's willing to hold him hostage and kill him. And as you can see, the story continues in the next issue, because of course it's gotta be a two-parter, because it's Two-Face. And it continues right where we left off in the previous issue. Here we have Two-Face with the whatever his name is at gunpoint. I actually like this artwork of Two-Face. He looks good in a couple of panels in this two-parter, but most of the time it looks like crap. And he's just repeating what he said in the last issue, and Batman narrating here, it was his compulsion which targeted Lockhart. He could have gone after anyone in his old ghost files, but his fetish again, for the number 2 brought him here to another tragic figure with two faces. Schism, this Skinner twin. Let the innocent go, Dent. You don't want to hurt the boy, Harvey. It's Lockhart you want. Lockhart and me. Dent? He's Harvey Dent, the district attorney? Well, duh. We were Dent. Now we are more. Now we are Two-Face. Now we are Venom. Two-Face, huh? Maybe I ought to offer you a job in my sideshow as the Skinner twins' evil twin. Except you still think I murdered my own uncle to get control of the circus. No, you did, Lockhart. Dent couldn't prosecute, but we serve a higher justice. And you came here to do what? Punish me? Execute me? No. You have now escaped our justice for a second time. The coin comes good heads up. Oh, it did in the past. Look at Batman. He's really looking weird here. He's got a tiny arm and no shoulders. And a giant head. You flipped a coin, didn't you, Harvey? And it came up unscarred. That's right. He's pressing that gun kinda hard, Mal. That's your pain, Joe. I hate their dialogue. It's so annoying. It's even worse than Two-Face's dumb dialogue. So the coin came up clean side, yet he's still going after the guy. Lockhart's guilty as sin, but the verdict was in his favor, so give it up. He won the coin toss, and it is not ours to punish him, but we have freed another who has suffered at his hands. Oh, it looks really awful here. So that justice may yet be served. Told you Harvey wants us to murderize Mr. Law. Shut up, please. So he still wants to kill the guy. He's just going against the coin now. He's still gonna kill the guy. See, this is why I really dislike the story. Beyond the stupid dialogue and the Tommy Lee Jones behavior of Two-Face here, is the fact that the coin came up good side. Right? So Harvey should do something good, or at least not do something evil. But instead, he's gonna do something even worse. He's not gonna kill Lockhart himself, he's gonna force an innocent man to kill him. That's what the good side meant? Wow, just total misunderstanding of the character here on part of Doug Mensch. I mean, he had something so great going on here with Two-Face going after his ghost files, and he had to go and ruin it. Listen to me, Harvey. There's no need to involve Schism in... Shut up, Batman! We are not Harvey, we are Venom. And don't think we've forgotten the charges pending against you, our dirty rat. One more outburst and we move your case up on the docket. Oh God, he's so corny with the lawyer jargon. Right now his precious sideshow attraction and future executioner is the only edge I've got. I mean, not only is he gonna force this innocent man to kill this criminal, but he's also holding this innocent man as a hostage and threatening to kill him and will potentially kill him, and all because the good side came up. The good side, remember, the good side of the coin came up, not the bad side. And what if I don't care about Schism? There's a freak and I'm tired of their constant bickering anyway. Go ahead and shoot them. By the time you do, my bullet will be headed your way. Really, Lockhart? What do you think the Batman will be doing at that time? Nothing, Two-Face, not if he's dead. Opens up a cage for a lion or whatever. But we got a lion up in this place. The lion's going berserk. People shooting everywhere. Batman, of course, being Batman, just tackles the freaking lion, because why not? He's Batman after all. While he's busy tackling a lion, everybody bolts out of there. And we have that time that Batman went mano a mano against the lion. But a clown arrives and just calms the lion down. Here we have Two-Face again, terrorizing this poor innocent man, or men I guess I should say. There are two in one. We freed you to execute Lockhart and you're gonna do it, boy! Even if we have to squeeze your finger around the trigger, understand? So he doesn't care anything about this guy. He didn't care about freeing him. He just wants to use him as an assassin. And Two-Face manages to find Lockhart and grabs him and locks him up. Ties him up to a pole. Well, Batman's been busy fighting the entire circus. I skipped those parts to make this video shorter. And he's got them both tied up here in the big top, and he's going away to get rid of the Batman too. He's gonna kill Batman. Good luck, Harvey. The clown is trying to get Batman's attention. Psst! But turns out the clown was Two-Faced. Shoots Batman right in his Bat logo. Two-Face in clown makeup. Now that is quite an odd sight, to say the least. Just look at this here. I mean, it looks cool. I like it. I'm not saying it's bad. It looks really interesting. Half clown, half scarred monster. Batman dead? For us, court's in session. But of course, Batman ain't dead since he wears armor. Hello, Two-Face. Did you not know that? Well, to be fair, that was actually kind of a new thing in the comics at the time. Post-Nightfall, Batman started wearing a suit that resembles more the suit in the movies. That's why it's all black and it's heavily armored. Before that, Batman just wore long johns, really. He did, genuinely did, no armor. The court has charged you with Lockhart's execution, and the sentence must be carried out. We didn't put on clown makeup, but it's murder. Like Lockhart wasn't willing to kill us, Cal, so one side wants to do it, but the other side doesn't. Wait like him, Mal. You know, Mama, what's he saying here? The dialogue is so weird. His accent, whatever it's supposed to be, some kind of hillbilly accent. You know, Mama, Alice told us to do what's right, and doing what's right don't never make for a bloody hand. What? Oh, he's got another arm, a third arm, with grabs to. I had completely forgotten about that. Grabs Two-Face by the neck. With a third arm, like the middle eye shared between his two minds. But the arm is taking a side. The arm is taking a side, the good side. Batman, but you're dead! After so many failed attempts, I finally executed you! You put a dent in me, Harvey. Good one, Batman, nice. Nothing more. There will be no executions this night. Ready out of my lion again. Okay. A gunch! And he breaks Harvey's skull, splits it in two like a melon. No time to argue, Two-Face. I'll just crush your skull. And well, that's basically it. And look at how goofy he looks. He's tied up and left for the police stand with a nice little bat note on him. And here Batman explains the dent has always been corrupt. didn't have a corrupt side even before half his face was ruined. I mean, I agree that Harvey Dent should be kinda on the edge before he becomes Two-Face, just like he is in Eye of the Beholder and the animated series. But to call him outright corrupt and portray him as a kinda evil douchebag as this story did, that is not a good idea. Yeah, rereading this, I think my opinion still stands. This really is the worst Two-Face story ever made. For the very fact that it has so much potential, Two-Face going after old lost cases is such a good idea and fits the character so much, but this story just did it so horribly. And Two-Face is just a scumbag. I mean, he's just... The good side of the coin comes up, and so he decides to be even more evil. And all of his corny rants about the death sentence and courts in session and all that, this just sounds so dumb. Two-Face shouldn't talk like that. It's way too goofy. You can't really take him seriously as a serious threat when he's talking like that, sounding so goofy. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you agree with me that this was the worst Two-Face story you've ever seen. And if you don't think so, let me know why. Explain why you think the story is actually good, or maybe not as bad as I'm claiming. And of course, as always, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.